You're listening to the Totally Serious Podcast. Listener discretion is strongly advised.
Welcome to the Totally Serious Podcast. I am Freedom James. Brother.
Oh, no.
America. The great US of A. American James. Wait, I'm sorry. I have to do that. I have to do something each time. Who am I talking with? Who are my co-hosts?
I am British James.
And I'm domestic Ryan.
Domesticated Ryan. Not feral Ryan.
Yeah, just
Potty trained, house trained.
Yeah.
all of the above.
All the above.
Yeah.
How are y'all doing today? How are things?
Doing well. How about you? What was your name again? What I've known you as British James?
Yeah. Just
The artist formerly known as British James.
Co-host formerly known.
For I am British James. I'm here to take everything from you.
Colonialism at its finest.
It's been a good week, I think.
Good.
Okay.
I like the intro. Does everyone like the intro? You all like the intro that we just heard there and we had on last week's?
Oh, Robot Lady? I love Robot Lady.
We're just talking about this.
My wife is a robot.
Wait,
Pre-recording.
that was your wife?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm so awful.
I'll tell you, call her a robot.
I'm sorry. When I listened to it on my smartphone, so we'll just blame the smartphone speaker. I am so sorry. Ryan's wife.
Yeah, it kind of came across as all compressed and computerized. And
Yeah, I thought it was like text to speech.
it's like, who
I'll let her know.
who is that?
Oh, no.
No, I added some chorus and some like reverb. No, we actually recorded that about 5 or 6 times.
Really?
Yeah, because her inflection was off, so I had to. And the pause, I had to give her because she's like, what does it say? Like, you're now listening. Oh, she's like, she said, viewer discretion. I was like, Laura, they're listening. Listener.
I mean, either one could work because we have no rules.
Are we being
We're not
filmed?
professional. Well, we're not.
Physical discretion is advised.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody.
Well, she's like, listener discretion is strongly advised, and I was like, you need to have like a pause there for a dramatic effect, and so
Yeah.
she kind of
Well,
I love it.
it's great.
It's the
and I
best.
sympathize because I do a lot of voiceover work myself, and it's hard to get it right the first few times. So,
yeah, and she's working with me, so it was even tougher. So.
That's the greatest obstacle, the greatest hurdle to cross.
Well, and she was actually just doing, I don't know, something for work or whatever. It's like, hey, get over here. I need you to record this. She's like, what am I recording again? Just say what I have written down on this notepad.
suddenly you hear this really like deep voice, like, we are holding you hostage.
Yeah.
No. Please don't
Send
do
10
this.
Bitcoin to this address and we'll release Ryan.
The lesson here is if your spouse approaches you with a script to read,
Pre-read it. Don't just read it out loud.
just don't even read it.
Fortunately, she didn't question. She just read it.
They'll end up recording it and putting it on their 2-listener, 3-listener podcast with their friends.
Who thinks she's a robot?
I feel so bad. Please forgive me. I'll
She's
send
not a
you-
robot. I'm not married to a robot. I don't think. So
That opens a whole another range of questions that I just don't want to get
And
into
tonight
right
was
now.
the last night we ever saw Ryan. He never returned to the podcast.
I'm going to have to open up auditions next week, James.
Oh, let's go. As long as they're not another James.
No, another James. Yeah.
This is a 2 James gang kind of podcast.
2 is enough. No more Jameses.
Yeah, I'm tired of Jameses. Tired of me.
Yeah, y'all vetoed my idea of James versus James.
Oh yeah, he wanted
was
to
gold.
moderate a debate, but it's like random topics. I don't know. I don't
this
want to
like-
prepare
No, you don't prepare. It's just I give you the topic and you just start talking about it.
Isn't there like a TV show on CNN that does that?
Well,
And we
that
would
like
be
Meet
just
the Press or something?
similar caliber as the CNN.
similar quality.
Similar call.
I don't know. I both don't want to represent like a legit. Well, I guess they wouldn't be legitimate. They'd be like, "What is a sandwich?" kind of debate.
Yeah, I mean, we know those types of
Not
debates
like-
pretty well.
we know what a sandwich is, or do we? Oh wait, we've talked about that like
Yeah.
years ago,
Yeah,
didn't we?
we did. That was like one of our first.
One or two, yeah.
I'm so sorry, listeners. Let's move on. Anyway,
They're like, we know what a sandwich is. Move on.
Do you? I'm going to change the subject.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you know? Like, okay, so I did know this, obviously.
A sandwich or
A sandwich, yeah. But so you know when you run the sink or you flush the toilet and the water goes round, like, is it clockwise? And then in the southern hemisphere it goes down anti-clockwise or whichever way. You know, because that's because of the
anti-clockwise.
no.
Yeah. No. Okay. So what happens if you put a sink or a toilet or something directly on the equator, like absolutely 100% on the equator?
I don't think it has anything to do with the side of the earth you're on.
But it does.
It doesn't.
It does.
No,
I know this because
it's not.
I YouTubed it last night.
Oh, I was gonna say because you've
Oh,
been to Australia.
YouTubed it.
Yeah, I watched. So because of the Coriolis effect, and it literally is within feet, which is interesting. There's this place in Uganda, which for a fee they'll demonstrate this to you. It's actually a tourist attraction, and they've set up 3 huge barrels that are kind of like those things that you throw like pennies in, like the thing they have at the library where it runs around the thing before it falls in the money pit.
Vaguely.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, and so they pour the water in there.
It goes in a circle and then
Yeah, exactly. So they do that, and on the in the northern hemisphere, it goes the one way. In the southern hemisphere, it goes the other. Directly on the equator, it just shoots straight down. Doesn't even turn in any direction. And they demonstrate that. It's real.
I think that it's more of how the toilet is built that is forcing the water in certain ways or not in other ways. I don't.
What? No.
Yeah.
No.
No. We can. I'll Google it while you guys are talking about your plant or whatever. And then,
Wait.
Did you say plant?
Yeah. We're giving a Virginia
hold on.
update.
It's a real scientific thing. You can't just buy a toilet that goes in a specific direction. You can't just walk into Home Depot and go, I want a toilet that flushes this way.
Okay, in our hemisphere, which direction is it supposed to go? Because I'll go out right now and go flush the toilet and see if it goes in that direction.
I don't remember. I think it's clockwise.
Okay, we have 2 toilets here. We can flush both.
And they were both, and the sink.
I mean, it's a waste of water, but we could flush both it's for science, though. And we could see which direction it goes.
Next week, the Totally Serious Podcast goes to Australia just so they can flush a toilet.
Please, let's go.
You have relatives there. Can we call them up one day and just like, can you flush your toilet? And
that is a Simpsons episode. For real. Have you ever seen that one?
No.
Where Bart does the same thing and he calls up this random number in Australia and he calls this kid and this kid answers. He's like, I'm doing a science experiment. Can you go flush your toilet? And he goes, yeah, hold on a minute. And he goes and flushes it. And he's like, it goes counterclockwise, sir. And then he's like, are you sure? Can you go and flush your neighbor's toilet? And so the kid just goes and disappears for 6 hours. And it shows a shot of the kid like going through the desert to
the outback.
The outback to his neighbor's house. And Bart's on hold. And then Homer gets a bill for like $17,000 for calling long distance. It's great.
That is funny. I've heard,
just like that.
Perth? I've heard that Perth is not the greatest of places.
Perth, Australia?
Yeah.
I've been there.
I want to go just because I've heard bad things and I want them to be proven wrong.
Really? I've
Probably
been
just
there one time and I don't remember a lot of it because I was very young, but I've been to Perth, Adelaide, Sydney, Melbourne, those places.
Yeah, I just want to go to Perth. It's probably not possible. I don't know if there's international flights from here that could take me there, but
You would have to probably go via Sydney, I think. I think that's where all international
I'll just
flights.
I'll just keep my eyes closed for a really long time. That way I can not see Sydney and only see Perth.
So anyway, toilets.
Okay. Was that enough time for you to...
I have not Googled yet.
you have no...
Oh.
I will.
A part of
Don't
me
you think
was
I won't?
hoping the direction you would take, Ryan, was something like what is clockwise in Australia, some angle like that. Like their clocks turn in the other direction.
Oh,
like,
man.
kind of thing.
Oh, can
Well,
But we know they don't.
you... No.
But wouldn't that be great? That would
It
crack
makes
me up.
total sense, though, when you think about it. Like, why don't they? Because
It's
obviously the
because-
motor doesn't go that way.
because conquering awful Europeans probably came up with the clock and the clockwise. Actually, I could be super wrong. Could be some awesome Arab math dudes.
Probably was.
But I think the default these days is to blame colonizing Europeans for systems and
Well, you know the Chinese read from left to right. Is it, or are they right to left? They read from right to left, so they read the reverse we do. So does that mean that if they're reading a digital clock, it is actually backwards,
I don't know.
or
It
they're
may only apply to their special script, their which I don't know what it's called because once again I'm a terrible white American. And I don't know. Oh, do we have an update? from
Okay.
Google? Okay.
It's. I don't have a definitive answer.
Not convinced.
But it basically, the short part I was reading was saying that the force of your toilet's flush is far greater than the Coriolis effect, and so that has no bearing on it. So it's really, like I'm saying, it's just I think, and I'm just saying this because I want to debate it, because you guys dismiss my James versus James, so this is my.
Okay.
Ryan versus the world.
So it's the slight variations in the way the toilet is manufactured that determine the direction of the swirl.
I think, yeah, because the swirl, for it to actually happen, the water has to be pretty much still. Like if you get you fill up a sink, right? You fill it up and you let the water just sit there, and then you pull the plug on the sink and watch it go down.
But if you slightly just kind of start rotating the other way, it's going to start gaining momentum and going that way. It's not going to
yeah,
stop.
of course it is, because you're messing with it.
But wouldn't eventually it reach an equilibrium and then stop and then start rotating the other way? Or would it just have so much? I don't know. I'm not a physicist.
I mean,
This week on
I guess.
Totally Serious,
this wasn't.
they act like they're physicists. I'm trying to figure this out. Like,
This is the content people come to listen to.
I just want to hear about Virginia. Okay, enough about toilets.
I
Yeah,
mean,
let's.
I can give you an update. It's one I'm not proud of. I
she
overwatered. No, she's alive.
Okay,
but
okay.
I overwatered Virginia.
She in intensive care, or
No, we can't afford it. We don't have plant insurance.
doesn't have medical insurance for Virginia.
So yeah, she was overwatered. So like she's lives in a little pot and it was overfilled with water. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, I could have like poured out the excess water. I didn't. And it took like 3 days for that level to go down. And she's still alive, so that's good. It was kind of cold yesterday and today, so she's inside right now.
Okay. That's good.
I need to get home and mist her, because when the heater's running, it makes it dry inside, and she needs to be in a humid environment. So you get a little spray bottle, and you can.
Nice.
I know, it's great.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's so cheap. Water in a plastic bottle versus like buying 20 pounds of dog food.
Exactly.
Oh gosh, dog food
Or little plastic bags to pick up dog poop when you take your dog on a walk. When I take Virginia on a walk, she doesn't leave waste anywhere.
See, now that's yeah.
Doesn't chew up your shoes.
Yeah,
Or,
that's
Yep.
what if Ryan and I got ourselves into that mess. Yeah, and my dog, she's picky. Like German Shepherds have a chicken allergy, or a lot of them have chicken allergies, and so it's very expensive and very difficult to find treats and food that don't have chicken in them, because chicken is so cheap that a lot of manufacturers use it in their product. So she's on like a salmon food. So
Nice.
yeah, it's very expensive.
Fancy.
Yeah, it is. It's like $60 from Chewy for like 30 pounds.
Is Chewy the mail to your home pet
Chewy is Amazon for pets,
stuff? Nice.
basically.
okay.
They even have subscribe and save options. And
Naturally.
yeah, save
Very nice.
X% for subscribing to your dog food and so on. But yeah, it's good because they have it, and it is cheaper than Petco and all those other places. So it works out well.
Cool. And I gotta. Oh, you.
Oh, no, I was going to tell you that my son has a plant he's been keeping alive.
Nice.
Doing really well. Alexander has a mint plant.
Oh,
Minty Junior.
He calls it Minty.
Minty.
Yeah.
That's the accurate but fun.
Yeah.
Minty.
has he eaten any of Minty's leaves yet?
Yeah. He's put it in
Make
his
tea with
tea.
it?
You
Yeah.
monster. I'm kidding. I
Awesome.
would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
You can't eat Minty. No, it's a
so
healthy part of the mint plant's life.
It when it froze a couple weeks back, we thought Minty was dead, but brought it inside and
Nice.
and it's still alive.
Put him in the microwave. On
Warmed him up a
defrost.
bit.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's I think his name is Minty. Maybe I'm just remembering that from your story. I do remember him saying Minty, so maybe it was. I'll find out.
I hope you go home and ask him. And he's like, "Why would I name the mint plant? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Shut up and get out of my room.
Who would do that?
I think you
Did
need
American
to,
James ask you to ask me this? Like,
This is where you record that conversation and just insert it right here.
Yeah.
only an idiot would name a mint plant, Dad.
No, he's real excited about it. I think he got it from, I don't know. Actually, I don't know where he got it, but he likes it, takes care of it.
Is it
When he
like
remembers.
peppermint or spearmint or just
It is
some other kind of mint?
I think it's peppermint. Yeah.
Lemon mint.
No, just regular old peppermint.
Strawberry mint?
No!
Cool.
Minty mint.
Minty mint.
I do
Toothpaste. It's toothpaste flavored.
I do miss my mint plant. I know it's odd to say because it's not like it's hard to get one or expensive, but it just wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be the same plant.
I just want to see a montage of you as a kid, like just with Minty going on walks.
Best friend I ever had. Going on walks. Minty would be lighter than Virginia.
You're ripping
going
off
on a walk
leaves.
with, so that would have been a benefit.
Yeah.
I just had mint water and tea. I didn't do anything else with mint tea. But anyway, but yeah, that was my Virginia update.
Awesome.
Hopefully next week will just be she's alive and not overwatered.
Yeah.
And then it'll be really boring and great.
Yeah, next week it's going to be St. Patrick's Week Day.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's right.
So Virginia will fit right in because she's green.
Dressed and ready.
Yep.
She's ready to party. Just take a picture of her with like a beer.
Oh, definitely. Get one of those Irish hats.
Put the little hat on.
Yeah.
I'll put that in the.
She's too young to drink. She's only like a couple months old or something.
Can we put a picture of Minty? Not Minty. Sorry, Virginia. I didn't mean to call you that. Can we put a picture of Virginia like on our Facebook page?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Okay.
It'll be with my low quality Samsung phone, which is only fitting, really. My Samsung A series phone.
Nice.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's
I
the
feel like
phone.
people should know what Virginia looks like.
Yeah, I'm all about adding visual elements to our our show. But yeah, no, it's been good.
Good to hear.
It's totally unrelated.
Okay.
I wanted to present a question.
Switch up.
So we've talked about toilets, Australia,
Gosh.
Yeah.
plants.
So
Where we going with this?
intro to the question. I'm playing a video game with some friends, and there's a puzzle involving visual elements, and the visual element is this like a picture of an eclipse. But me being an idiot, when I see like a solar or lunar eclipse or something, my first thought was black hole sun. And then someone hearing me say that started singing, and I didn't know like what the song really was.
Uh-huh.
They did a terrible job. But apparently that's like a grunge song by SoundCloud. I mean,
Garden.
Soundgarden.
Or Savage Garden?
No, Soundgarden.
Soundgarden? Okay.
I'm just kidding. I know.
Savage Garden.
And me being
kill me.
I am considerably younger, so much younger than Ryan.
Okay.
So I don't know what grunge is other than, so I wanted to, my question leading all this up to,
I'm glad you
what is grunge?
insinuated that Ryan was older than me by saying so much.
oh yeah,
younger than-
Ryan's hella old.
Well, I am older, so I'm the
Not by
oldest
that
here.
much, all right? How old are you?
I believe I'm 3 years older than you, James.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So anyway,
yeah.
All right then.
Soundgarden is
So
grunge
grunge.
though, right?
yeah. Grunge
Or at least
is
that song by them is grungy.
Yeah.
Black hole sun, won't you come?
Oh, that song? Okay.
Yeah, that song.
That's-
That's literally all I
okay.
know of it.
Yeah.
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 I think the best example of grunge would be Nickelback.
No.
Is that accurate?
No.
No.
Look
I
at this
hope- I hope-
photograph. Every time I look at Mace.
I think grunge.
I like how when Nickelback in my head is almost country music. Like, even though I know it's not.
Never made it as a wise man.
Nice.
Wait, is that Nickelback?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't cut it as a poor man
I
stealing.
remember listening to that on the radio when I was like a preteen.
Here's my
All I
life.
can think of-
Kind of living like a blind man.
All I can
This
think
is
of.
how
what-
you remind. Is that the same song, right? Or is that
Yeah.
a different song?
That's
so.
it.
They all sound the same, but
So is grunge all the same?
no. Okay.
that's not
so
grunge.
just on Nickelback, the only like every time I think of Nickelback, which is not hopefully not very often, but it's that Vine. Remember, I was like, look at this graph.
Yes,
Like holding up the graph.
that is the best one.
So going back to your question, I think grunge is more than a musical style. I think grunge at the time was more of like a lifestyle, kind of like punk, where it's become, there's music associated with it now. But at the time, I don't think they thought, well, we're playing grunge music or we're playing punk
Yeah.
music. They're just trying to rebel and play music that's rebellious to the time. What?
Is grunge its own genre, or is it a subgenre of like metal or rock?
I think grunge didn't start off as a genre. I think it started off as just trying to just be, I guess, counter what was going on at the time, maybe. And maybe certain bands, when they became popular, started to kind of personify grunge
Would
in
you,
musical form.
if I was to go by a Nirvana T-shirt because Nirvana is grunge, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I know something, little to nothing. I hope there's someone who's listening who cares about music who now just hates my guts. I would be so happy to.
See, what I'm saying is I don't think Nirvana, especially at the beginning, would have called themselves a grunge band. They're just like,
they're just doing music and trying to get cigarettes or whatever
they would
do.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
because you can't say that Smells Like Teen Spirit is grunge.
yeah. But I think it actually would be classified as that.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, it's by Nirvana, so.
So if Nirvana did a country song, it would be grunge.
Well, I think we classify music based on what instruments used and how the song's written. We do that because
Vocal style.
humans like patterns and we like organizing things. So it's like for our brains, we're like, oh, this is grunge. This is not grunge. This is bluegrass. This is country. Here's why kind of differences.
Yeah. What I guess what I'm saying is I think it was the attitude or lifestyle first, and then from that, maybe the most popular bands started to sort of establish the aesthetic, the sound, the sound and aesthetic of grunge. I hope that if we have a few listeners, that they will chime in here. And set us all straight.
I just feel like there's too many genres or subgenres of things now. You know, like it used to be like, oh, I'm listening to pop music, I'm listening to hip hop, I'm listening to
and then Nelly
country.
and Tim McGraw messed everything up.
Exactly. I mean, what the heck? You know, now you've got death metal,
Kid Rock.
You've got so many different, you know, genres of subgenres of you know, other genres. It makes no sense. I mean, you know, you listen to a country station and you hear like
I don't listen to country
hybrid pop country EDM mashup stuff.
Oh,
that makes no sense.
But what is
Did country stations play Old Town Road with Lil Nas X and that Billy Ray Cyrus?
Probably. We should call
there are some, but I would think they probably wouldn't.
We call K-Sam and ask them. They play it.
No.
Did you, Ryan, grow up listening to grunge?
No, it was kind of a little before. And I kind of grew up in a little more sheltered home.
Okay.
But
understandable.
But I think
you grew up listening to Raffi?
I don't know who that is.
Who is
what?
Raffi?
Are you serious? You don't know who Raffi is?
No.
Raffi is a kids artist who only does music for kids.
Okay. Like educational songs, like "This How You Tie Your Shoes."
Yeah,
something.
Raffi is from like the 1970s, so probably more of a Motown beat.
I'm not that old, James. Jeez.
No, I didn't. Neither am I, but I still
I'd
know
like to
who Raffi
introduce
is.
you to my dad to the podcast. Shut up.
What were your first? What is the first? I'll just say CD. Because we're all old enough that we bought CDs.
Yes,
A CD.
What's your first CD?
I can go to town on this.
Oh gosh! All right,
Okay.
go for it.
What's your first cassette tape?
That I bought or that I
First
made
cassette-
myself.
Oh, cassette tape.
Let's start with cassette tape.
Okay.
Are you too young for a cassette tape?
No.
Okay,
no.
okay. You had it. Okay.
Yeah. So I grew up in Dallas, meaning I was exposed to the Half Price Books,
Okay.
the awesome institution.
Yeah.
And at the time when I was a kid, you could go and buy cassettes and CDs that were used. I remember the first cassette that I bought? Oh, that's a little tough. That's tougher. It was probably country music.
Okay.
Because my dad would like burn CDs of his music that I liked for me. So I remember it was an Irish group. They were called the Coors, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I remember them.
Go on, go on. That was it. That was in the beginning, and Nickel Creek,
Okay, that's a good.
which
that's
are
a good
very different.
Yeah. Wait, Nickelback or
No,
I'm just
Nickel
kidding.
Creek.
I was kidding. No, I'm
and-
kidding.
Because there's no way I found that music on my own. Like, there's no way. It had to have been my dad. But I remember going to Half Price Books, and I bought a lot of country music on cassette and CD, and it would be stuff like Travis Tritt and Diamond Rio, and it was one of those things where it was easy to save up money for cassettes as a kid, because they'd just be like $2, and it was so much fun. Oh my gosh!
So I'm trying to think. My first cassette. I think the first one I bought was Garth Brooks.
Hey.
I was a really big Garth Brooks fan. I liked his. He had some shirt that I liked. It was like black and white. And I don't know. I liked his music.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But then he's not on Spotify now, so I don't listen to it anymore.
Oh man!
I think he's just on like Walmart Music or something. I don't know. I don't know something.
Walmart Music.
Yeah, I don't think he.
Man,
Probably iTunes. That's still a thing, right?
Apple Music. I think they rebranded too.
But Nickel Creek. That's I like.
Yeah.
Nickel Creek. Yeah.
I've forgotten their names. There's basically super mandolin guy.
Chris Thiele.
Yeah.
And the Watkins.
I had a
brother and
VHS
sister.
tape on how to play mandolin. that he made. I think I tried to give it to you, or did
No,
give it to
you gave it to me.
Yeah. I never learned how to play mandolin. I watched it a couple times and just kind of was just like, wow, he's so talented. Didn't do anything. But James, what was your first?
Well, I listened to a lot of radio growing up, and so really, I don't ever remember buying a cassette. I just remember like recording cassettes from the radio, making my own mixtapes and stuff. But I used to borrow cassettes from the library as well and listen to them. My library was pretty good and would have a lot of the latest albums that you could check out. Back in the cassette days, I guess it was easier to get a hold of or something. So they had a lot of those. So I used to check out those. But I would normally buy like the various artist albums, compilations, rather than actual artist albums themselves. So we had the Now That's What I Call Music collection, and I started buying those. I think I had a couple of those on tape, and then transitioned into buying those on CD. But every now and again, I'd buy like a single that I liked. But yeah, that's really it. I remember buying the Now That's What I Call Music and just skipping through all the tracks and like, yeah, I like that one. Yeah, I like that one. I don't even know what this one is. And they'd always be up in like the 15, 16, 17 track section and be like, how did these even make it on here? I don't even know what these are. Have like Shaka Demus and Pliers and all that stuff.
Yeah, I remember having a boombox and blank cassettes. And I'd get my blank cassettes from like the pharmacy. I'm trying to remember Eckerd's. I think it was a pharmacy called Eckerd's near where I lived, and you could get blank cassette tapes.
Did you ever figure out that trick of the cassette tapes that you would buy and you couldn't record onto because they had the plastic pieces punched out? And you just stick a piece of sticky tape over them and you could record onto them.
Yep.
That was great.
I knew it was a thing, but I was like too scared to try it.
I tried it a few times.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, the library wasn't too happy about it.
Oh, no. Oh man. I used to. Do you have any like cringe moments where like you as a kid pretended to be the radio DJ?
Oh yeah.
You would be like,
oh,
all right, and up next is going to be this song.
Yeah.
And you'd wait like 30 minutes for that song to play on the radio so you could record.
Yeah, I
didn't do that. That's pretty cool, though.
I did do that. That's the thing. No, I did 100%. I used to do that all the time because that's what I genuinely wanted to be growing up. From the age of like 5, I wanted to be a radio DJ. Mm-hmm. And then at the age of like 7 or 8, I toured our local radio station. And that was when it was like, okay, I have to be a radio DJ. And here I am today.
Here
and
we
I'm
are
not
now.
a radio DJ. I'm
Living out that dream.
the third of a podcast.
When I grow up, I want to record a podcast. What?
And have 2 to 3 listeners.
Suddenly, everyone's asking back in the 90s, what's a podcast?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I think that as much as I want to keep talking about this, and especially about what is grunge,
We've run the gamut today. We've talked about a lot.
it's been a great episode.
has.
Thanks everybody out there for listening. I have no closing thoughts. So this was the Totally Serious Podcast. I'm Freedom James.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm British James, just boring, self-conquering
Self-conquering. Whoa.
British James. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
Freedom James.
Until next time.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
My first
Yeah.
cassette.
Yeah,
Boombox
Yeah.
and blank cassettes.
stick a piece of
My
sticky
first
tape. Yeah,
cassette.
yeah,
Boombox
Yeah.
and blank cassettes.
stick a piece of
My
sticky
first
tape. Yeah,
cassette.
yeah,
Boombox
Yeah.
and blank cassettes.
yeah.